Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. The news is quite important today. Why? Because Imran Khan's conversation from jail was highly significant, and we'll also discuss what's happening with his trial. But first, Mohammed Malik has broken two big stories and they're creating quite a stir. Alongside that, there are rapid rumours circulating about Foreign Minister Khawaja Asif's resignation. There's confirmation and denial coming from all sides. We'll talk about that too. Also, we'll cover what trouble India is facing and how Trump has basically grilled Moeed. However, I must say, the kind of response India has given, you have to acknowledge it. Even though we are happy to see Trump scolding Moeed from a public interest perspective for their country, India's response deserves some credit. We'll share that too. So there's quite a bit in this vlog. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's begin with the main news, Imran Khan's jail trial. Salman Safdar, Imran Khan's main lawyer, has returned from abroad and was present inside Adiala jail today. He strongly protested the fact that only one or two lawyers were allowed inside, while the rest, who also prepare the case collectively, were stopped outside. According to him, this is by no means a fair trial. Imran Khan's family, legal team and even media representatives were kept out of Adiala jail. It's already been ruled multiple times in court that such a trial is illegal. He told the judge clearly, if the trial continues like this, then with due respect, we will not participate in it. After this protest, another lawyer, Khalid Yusuf Chowdhury, was allowed inside, along with Imran Khan's sister, Dr. Uzma Khan. The other two sisters remained waiting outside, as usual. Salman Akram Raja was also waiting outside. Still, at least two more lawyers were eventually let in. Despite this, Salman Safdar was not satisfied and made it clear that they are filing a separate application. And if Salman Akram Raja is not allowed inside to assist in the next hearing, they will not proceed with the trial. The judge gave assurance that the situation would be improved, but let's see how much authority the judge actually has. Meanwhile, complaints were raised on behalf of Imran Khan about his jail conditions, how he is repeatedly subjected to restrictions. It was revealed that his TV has been turned off, but newspapers have been restored. He protested about not being given his books. The judge called for a list and some of the books were then provided to him. Instructions were also issued to ensure provision of facilities. But this has happened many times. Orders are issued but not implemented. Everyone knows how court orders are disregarded, and unfortunately, judges don't even take notice anymore. This was the internal jail situation. Now, what did Imran Khan discuss with his sister? Aliya Khan conveyed to the media what Imran Khan discussed with his sister. He especially talked about today's protest, August 5th, and was pleased that despite difficult circumstances, people came out in Punjab and other provinces as well. He appreciated the efforts of his supporters, party workers and the public, saying their protest proves they are a living nation and there will eventually be a dawn after this long, dark night of the country's history. He reminded everyone that this movement demands sacrifice. He is sacrificing along with his family, and the people will have to do the same, for the betterment of future generations, for the greatness of this country and for the rule of law. He urged people to come out of their homes, break the idols of fear. Regarding the upcoming protest on August 14th, Imran Khan sent a clear message. People must come out again and make their voices louder than ever. He instructed his party members to mobilize people, to lead them. Many want to come out, but are looking for leadership. That leadership must be provided. The time for hesitation is over. Resistance is the only path to achieving freedom. He also appreciated the all-parties conference and the leaders involved. He thanked leaders involved in the movement for the protection of Pakistan's constitution, especially Mahmud Khan Achakzai, Mustafa Nawaz Khokhar and Allama Raja Nasir Abbas for their efforts and standing firm in difficult times. On the KP military operations, Imran Khan expressed serious concerns. Once again, he clearly instructed that these operations in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa must be stopped. He said the jirga or tribal council system should be used instead, not military operations against local populations. He made an important point. During ANP's government, similar operations were carried out, which politically finished the ANP in the region. Now it appears the same thing is happening to PTI. These operations seem designed to crush the popularity and governance of PTI in KP. He warned, when you go against the people's will, it backfires. The party in power ends up being blamed for not protecting its people. That's what happened to ANP. And now the same is being done to PTI. This was a very different angle that Imran Khan presented, that the hidden motive of the operation could be to eliminate PTI's support base, just like ANP's. He also spoke about his children. He asked for details about why his children haven't come. He was told they're not being granted visas. He suggested raising the issue internationally. This could pressure the government into issuing visas. This shows that he is eager to meet his children, contrary to media reports suggesting otherwise. Those reports were fake. His children want to come, and he wants them to come. He said if the issue is raised through international interviews, it could have an impact. He was informed about some interviews already given, and he encouraged doing more to build pressure. That way their arrival would become easier. Now, moving on to the major story broken by Mohammed Malik. There has been an expose of major corruption involving billions of rupees. Mohammed Malik revealed that high-level meetings were held in June and July, during which it was disclosed that more than 2,000 billion rupees in alleged corruption occurred in the past 2 to 3 years, specifically after Imran Khan's government. This corruption spans multiple departments and sectors. 2 lists were prepared. One includes bureaucrats, politicians, contractors and other possible culprits. Investigations have begun. The second list relates to a specific project under SIFC in Sindh, which was deliberately delayed by the bureaucracy. This too is under investigation. While such corruption news may seem common in Pakistan, when such large scandals start surfacing and receiving mainstream media attention, it usually signals something is wrong for the current government. Historically, this is how things begin to go downhill for ruling parties. Scandals emerge, pressure builds, and media space opens up for criticism, which earlier was filled with praise. The establishment is not happy, they say. Issues have come up here and there, and such massive corruption has occurred. This usually marks the beginning of a shift, an indication that things are starting to go downhill. What I mean to say is, no one really knows if any of these corruption cases ever result in real consequences. Because as long as we can remember, we've always heard that there's a lot of corruption. Yet every politician claims to be squeaky clean, and every bureaucrat tries to prove themselves innocent. We've never actually seen corruption being exposed in such a way that billions are recovered and returned to the national treasury, where we can say, wow, someone really stood up for accountability. Usually these slogans about accountability and ending corruption are just pressure tactics or deceptive maneuvers to grab public attention. Someone comes forward saying, I will end corruption, I will fix the system. And suddenly everyone thinks this person must be loyal to the country. People rally behind them thinking, yes, this person is our savior. But this is not the first time we've heard this. Every dictator makes the same claim, that politicians are deeply corrupt, the bureaucracy is rotten, and I alone am pure and patriotic. They say the politicians have looted the country and they are here to save it. The innocent public, fed up with politicians, believes them and stands with them. But in reality, things are never that simple. I'm not saying that politicians are all saints, of course not. There is a long list of corrupt politicians who amass wealth, do shady deals, you all know this. But the bureaucracy is even more corrupt. They facilitate these shady operations and make a lot of money themselves. And it's not just them. Your other institutions are not innocent either. The money that goes to generals, you know what kind of properties they acquire and how? Look at the judiciary too. This cycle has never stopped. Whoever gets the opportunity exploits it. And politicians get blamed most of the time simply because they are easy targets. You can easily catch them, drag them into court. But talk about the corruption of generals? That leads to court cases, accusations of treason. You might remember Shahid Islam, who reported on General Bajwa's taxes and assets. He was arrested, tortured and forced to flee the country. He is now in exile. This is what happens in our country if someone dares to talk about corruption in the military. So while rooting out corruption is a noble idea that everyone supports, recovering looted public wealth, there's often no real intent behind these campaigns. There's always another hidden agenda. Another thing, this accountability should not revolve around one person. We need a system, a constitutional system, where the judiciary is independent, where inquiries and investigations are transparent, where institutions and officers are clean, and where a system is in place that stops corruption at the root, regardless of who the person is or where they come from. But when we put all our hopes on someone like Musharraf, thinking he alone will end corruption, then that slogan dies with him. That's not fair to this country. We need to strengthen institutions. Only then will we see long-lasting change. Otherwise, it's just a blame game. Everyone's complicit. They've all taken part in the feast. So who's going to hold whom accountable? Now let's talk about another major story. Khawaja Asif tweeted something today that led to widespread rumors about his resignation. He suddenly tweeted, claiming that the bureaucracy is very corrupt. He even said that more than half the bureaucracy has acquired Portuguese citizenship and bought properties there. He particularly referenced some bureaucrats from Usman Buzdar's tenure, accusing one of collecting huge bribes just from receiving wedding salutes for his daughter. Once that tweet went out, of course, journalists started digging. What's the real motive behind this tweet? Because it's not the job of a foreign minister to suddenly tweet that the bureaucracy is corrupt. If it is, and your government is in power, then take action. Otherwise, your tweet implies either you're weak and incapable of acting, or you have some other hidden agenda behind this tweet. Later investigations revealed that an official, an RO from his constituency, now serving as the current ADCR, Mohammed Iqbal, was caught in a corruption scandal involving crores of rupees. He was arrested, and in that context, Khawaja Asif made that tweet. Additional reports indicated that a federal minister was also involved. As this story was still unfolding, news started spreading that Khawaja Asif had resigned. Zubair Ali Khan, a respected journalist now forced into exile, tweeted that Khawaja Asif had formally submitted his resignation. But attempts to confirm this were met with dead phone lines. Meanwhile, Federal Information Minister Atta Tara denied the news, calling it fake and saying no resignation had been submitted. Still, some sources claim that Asif has sent in a resignation, but whether it is accepted or not remains unclear. That's why the matter is being kept somewhat secret, and Khawaja Asif has given no clarification. What's clear from the unfolding story is this. The loot and plunder of the past 2 to 3 years is coming to light. And it's not just rumours, there is substance behind this. The scale is so large that when it finally comes out, the nation will be stunned. For example, consider the sugar scandal. We all know billions were made. Someone pocketed all that extra money. How was the policy designed? Then we heard that new luxury cars were purchased for Supreme Court judges, vehicles worth crores, perhaps even billions. Recently, it was revealed that 40 million rupees were allocated just for renovating federal ministers' homes. If this is not looting, then what is? The National Treasury is being used mercilessly without any care or conscience. Massive grants are being handed out to judges. Ministers are being pampered. Cars are being distributed. I say this country is not just being looted with both hands, but with both feet. It's like they think this is the last night before the apocalypse. Let's loot all we can. Or maybe they believe this is their last chance. If and when all of this is fully exposed, the public will be shocked to learn what has been done to this country. These people came to power illegitimately through corruption and manipulation of the mandate. They've violated human rights, broken the constitution, and still they've done nothing beneficial for the country. On the contrary, they have looted public wealth. All of this is incredibly unfortunate. These news stories, in my view, are sounding alarm bells for the government. Let's see what happens next. Lastly, on India and Trump. Trump has imposed an additional 25% tariff on India, taking the total tariff to 50%. That is an extremely high number, making Indian exports significantly more expensive, which will hurt their economy. India responded, saying, "The interests of India's 1.5 billion people come first. The US measures are unfair, unjustified and unreasonable. India will take necessary actions to protect its national interest." It appears India is not accepting Trump's proposed deal. Trump wants India to stop buying oil from Russia, but India continues to import Russian oil, just like many European countries. It's a very hypocritical policy. Trump wants to impose his will, not just on Pakistan, but also on India. But trade decisions are the sovereign right of any country. The US has no business playing uncle or guardian. Sadly, this is the same issue that caused Imran Khan to fall out of favor with the US. When he announced that Pakistan would buy cheap oil from Russia, the US got angry. Now, Moeed is facing a similar situation. Because he's not bending to Trump's will, Trump is publicly humiliating him, while simultaneously imposing economic pressure through tariffs. Let's see how long India can withstand the pressure. But one good thing, India doesn't have a general Bashwa, someone Trump could send a note to saying, "Remove your Prime Minister or face the consequences." That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.